All right, everyone. We have our Mother's Day community conversation. And what better person to have on here than my mother-in-law, Karen Burton. So other than my brother, I guess you're my first family member on the community conversation. That's not necessarily blood related. So we're going to get into today's community conversation. Again, it's Mother's Day, and Karen is spending her first few waking hours with me talking about stuff she probably doesn't want to talk about. But with that said, Karen, why don't you just give everyone kind of like the story of how you got into CrossFit, and it's certainly a good one. So I'll try not to blush too much.
Okay, so I think it was 2012, right?
Yep,
2012.
Yep.
Erin Lindsay called me and said, "Mom, have you ever done CrossFit?" And I'm saying, no, CrossFit's for young people. She said, "No, Mom, this guy from BSC is starting this CrossFit gym and he's offering free classes at the high school." And I said, "Oh, the last thing I want to do is do CrossFit." But then I found out that she had a crush on this guy. So I said, "Okay, we're going." And I said to John, "We're going. We got to go check out this guy." So it had nothing to do with CrossFit. I had no desire to do CrossFit, but I needed to check out this guy that she had a crush on. So we went and didn't really have too much interaction with him. So I had to go back again. And I had to keep going back because I had to find out what this guy was all about. So fast forward, I actually started liking it, and I liked the spirit of what it was all about. And when he opened the gym, I remember going in and I met Mike's dad, and he was helping him get the place set up.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, wow, Mike Sr. was just such a nice man. His son can't be too bad. So
the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
So anyway, I joined and have been part of a CrossFit community since 2012.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. But you came to the early morning workouts at the Westboro track.
Yes.
It was early morning.
Yes.
So I remember Erin saying, "My mom's going to come do a class, do a workout." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And she was like, "No, you should be worried." And I was like, "Why?" Like, why? So, well, she's like, she can be like intense. And I remember I don't ever remember feeling threatened or scared.
I was very discreet.
Yeah, I guess. But you knew a lot of those people that I knew. You knew like Sandra and Kathy and everyone.
Right.
And all that sort of stuff. And then.
But you were also much older.
Yeah, I was a few years older.
A few years older than my daughter. She was in college, and
yeah.
I was thinking, who is this guy? And I was a little bit nervous.
Yeah, no, I understand. But you like the workouts. And then John didn't start right at the same time you did. Because John didn't go. John came afterwards. I feel like once the gym was open, because I don't remember John ever coming to
track. One track.
Okay, maybe it was in the afternoon or something like that. Okay, because I only did the morning ones. Okay, so then you guys kept working out. You obviously liked it, and you were coming in the morning, like
6 a.m.
6 a.m. And there were it was a really like good group of people.
Yeah.
Some of those people have moved away, but a good core of those people are still there. Why don't you talk a little bit about that 6 a.m.?
We had a fabulous 6 a.m. group. We had a bunch of girls that we just would meet every morning. It was fantastic, and we watched each other grow. And of course, then when I moved away, everybody else got stronger except for me.
Wait, when did you see? So that some people that are listening, they probably don't know because you guys lived in Westboro. How long did you guys live in Westboro for?
19 years.
Okay, and then what year did you guys purchase your house in Falmouth?
We bought our house in 2012, and I moved down here full time in 2013.
Yeah, it was only a year afterwards. Okay.
Yeah. About 2013, 14. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I joined Upper Cape CrossFit.
Yeah, that's right.
And I always, I I really enjoyed going there, but it still didn't feel like home.
Mhm.
So, actually, that's probably the biggest benefit that COVID brought, was able to bring back.
Do the virtual workouts.
I can now do virtual workouts. Yeah.
So you were in Westboro, moved to Falmouth, and you also changed careers. Now you're this real estate agent that's basically sold everyone a house that I know.
Westboro by the sea.
Yeah. So why don't you talk a little bit about that? Because now John does that with you too.
Yeah.
And how did you get into the real estate side of stuff?
So I always knew I wanted to go into real estate. Both my parents were real estate agents. My dad was a commercial broker. My mom is 86 years old and still working as a real estate agent. Bubby in West Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
And I always knew I wanted to be a real estate agent in my, quote, retirement years. So I retired from pharmacy when I moved to the Cape and had my real estate license and started, became active full-time right into real estate. I had a goal that I set myself a goal that within 5 years, I would be one of the top agents on Cape Cod. And I did it in 4 years. So, I extremely goal-oriented, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And I've been fortunate because we live in a fantastic community,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of our friends have relocated to this area.
How many?
Oh, gosh.
You basically brought the whole town of Westboro.
Yeah, that's what we call it. Westboro by the sea is how
Mm-hmm.
what we now call. Yeah, there's a lot of.
Do you know? Could you is it more than 15?
No.
More than 10?
So. Probably more than 10. Yeah.
But you all live within
we all live within.
Lori's, I can see your house in the back of your house.
Yes.
And Brent and Sally are across the street.
Sally across the street. Lori Lamack is diagonally behind. Judy's around. Judy. Judy is.
And then
town.
John's Tom, but they're not Jim, but people Tom and Doreen.
Yep. My sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, the Goodlifts.
They're all over
the blocks are. There's quite a few of us down here.
So so basically, there's a shameless plug. If you're looking for a house on the Cape, she's not going to say it. I'll say it. She's your person to go to. But so you mentioned that COVID has allowed you to exercise more, and you were going to Upper Cape, and then obviously COVID happened and it shut down, and you didn't want to go do outdoor classes there, and you were started to do our virtual classes again, and now you've built out a little home gym. What's your experience been like doing virtual workouts, getting acclimated to Zoom, and then doing it, but continuing to do it consistently and making it now part of your routine? Yeah.
I don't think I could ever go back to in-person classes right now. That's almost the way I feel. I love rolling out of bed. I get my coffee. I actually have coffee every morning online with Vanjie.
Yep.
We drink our coffee during our warm-ups.
And they're in the Cape too.
They're on the Cape also, and they're doing their virtual. They're they're in Orleans.
Yep.
And it's virtual has been the best thing ever. It's fantastic. I just can go downstairs, turn on my computer, sync it with my TV, and I can see, and it works so much better for my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we also have we have this nice 7 a.m. group.
Yeah. There's the pros of the convenience, right? Yeah. But you're also getting the attention too, and the coaching and the training and that sort of stuff. But then you've also built out this little, the benefit that you have that maybe not everyone has is the ability to build out a little gym downstairs and getting all the equipment and all that sort of stuff, which has been awesome. You've got the bike and a rower and kettlebells and all that sort of stuff. So you made your own.
I still don't. Yeah, the barbell I'm still working on. I bought a barbell, but thank goodness Heather Clancy lent me her 15-pound one because I'm still not strong enough
the light one.
The light one, yes.
That's okay. So virtual. Now the real estate market here is kind of crazy. like what, and you said that you're like goal oriented. What are your like, what are your fitness goals? What are you working towards or working on, or what motivates you to keep getting up every morning at 5, 6 a.m. to work out? Because you're very routine and structured. We were talking about this. You said you had like a coach, like a business coaching thing, and you were talking about like getting your 8 hours of sleep and that sort of stuff, and how that's a struggle for some people. How do you stay so structured with that?
Well, let's see. Well, going back to your question about the structure, for sleeping. For sleeping.
Yeah, in general, like
yeah.
like
I mean,
because it's hard for people. So just to I guess to take a step back, some people it's hard to right get up, wake up. Okay, I'm turn on the camera, like be motivated enough to do that, make it part of their routine. Like how like again, like how does that like what's the and we I mentioned like goals, being goal oriented. Like what is the driving factor to keep that going and not like stop?
Well, I don't. It's funny. Like when I look at myself and I look at the people around me, and I kind of don't think of myself as a quote CrossFitter. I just don't look at myself and say, oh, I'm a CrossFitter. I feel like I'm this older person who likes to stay active. And what I like is that it's not that I have a goal to lift 85 pounds over my head. It's that I just want to stay fit and strong and be able to be more toned. I'm not, it's not about, for me, it's not about powerlifting or doing that. It's just about maintaining and feeling good. It's part of my routine. It's like I wake up every morning at 6 a.m., do a couple things, do some work on the computer, and then set up for 7 a.m. It's just like it's part of what I do. But I also, I'm in bed. You guys always tease me, but I'm in bed by 9 o'clock. My phone is on silent from 9 a.m. to 6 a.m. and it's 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And it's just like, and I sleep my 8 hours.
We only make money when you go to bed at 7 p.m. So, okay. But being strong to pick up your granddoggy. And since it's Mother's Day, this is your first grandmother's day, or being a Mother's Day as being a grandmother. So if you guys are listening, and this is not Aaron and I, but Karen and John's oldest son, Michael, and his wife, Megan, they live out in New Jersey. They work out in New York. They just had their baby a few weeks ago. What's it like being a grandmother?
It's wonderful. The biggest challenge is I can't figure out what I want to be called. It's the biggest dilemma because I don't picture myself as grandma. So
what are your top 5? And you can let people know. Maybe they can vote. Maybe they can vote on it.
Okay, so there's a couple things. Amma is what Michael called his grandmother, John's mom, and he was the one who came up with that name. So Amma is an option. Nani is another one. BB, like for Mini Bubby or Bubby Burton. My mother is Bubby, so I can't take that away from my mother. So anyway, I think those are the top.
Those are top 3. I thought Bubby was in there. No?
Well, I don't know. It depends.
So when are you gonna know by? When you need to have it?
Maybe
decided?
by the time she's talking. But I should probably have some reference before that, so that when I talk to her, saying, "Hi, it's BB on the phone, or Nani, or Amma." I'm just not sure which one I should be. I don't want to be Nana, and I don't want to be Grandma. So
be something different.
I just feel that those I just don't want to be.
All right. So if you guys are listening, the top 3 were Amma, BB, and Nani. Those are the 3. So you can email me directly once you get this to give your vote. It'll help Karen make her decision. Before I get into the Spitfire round, the 3 questions that I have, one more question I want to ask you, because you mentioned it, because you said you don't like identify as like a just kind of getting back, identify as like a CrossFitter, what would you say to someone that might be listening to this or has like a friend or a family member that might be thinking the same thing, like, oh, I could never do CrossFit or I could never do this sort of like exercise, but it might resonate with them. Oh, like just getting stronger, being more fit and toned. Like, what would you say to those people?
Well, it's my friend Lori Lamack
Mm.
is the perfect example. You know, she used to say, "Oh God, I could never do this. I could never do this," and she is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And she modifies like I modify. And I always said to her, it's not, you don't have to do those strong, you can just modify and do what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a modification for everything. And the coaches will work with you either online or off to tell you what that modification is. And that's what I feel really good about. Sometimes I feel like if I, when you're not sure of the exercise and you don't want to be, you feel embarrassed asking, but when you do, you don't feel it's all right.
It's fine.
It's fine. Exactly.
It's totally fine. No, that's a good way to put it. Okay. So have you watched these community conversations? Have you listened
yes,
to them?
I've seen a couple of them. Oh, but I don't know. Wait.
So
wait.
the last three questions, there's three questions I want to ask. So I think I know the answer to at least one of them, but the first question is, what is your favorite movie of all time? Favorite TV? So it's three parts of the question. What's your favorite movie of all time? Favorite TV show of all time? And what are you currently binge watching right now?
Okay.
So we'll start there.
All right. So my favorite, what was the first one? What was the first one?
What?
My TV.
Choke. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, my favorite movie, you'll laugh. It's Overboard.
Overboard. Oh, that's with
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. Okay.
And Goldie Hawn.
All right, go Overboard.
Yeah.
The second one was, what is your favorite TV show of all time?
TV show or movie? No.
You used to movie. So the second part is like, what's your favorite TV show?
I don't know, probably Friends.
Friends, okay. And then the third is, what's the third part to this first question is, what is the show that you're currently binge watching now?
Oh, binge watching White Collar.
White Collar, okay. Now you got a new one with that Georgia.
Oh yeah, Georgia and Ginny. We started watching it yesterday over the weekend.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, then the second question is, what's your favorite musician or band or music artist of all time? Like, if you could only listen to like one musician or one band or one group the rest of your life, who would it be?
Probably Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran, okay.
Yeah.
Then the third.
I'm not really good.
The third question is, what is your favorite hobby to do outside of working out? What's your favorite hobby?
I like to play golf.
Golf.
And pickleball.
Which one?
Golf.
Golf. Are you guys golfing today? It's gonna be a nice day.
Yeah, I think so.
It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys, we just had our first live in-person community conversation. I think this is episode 18. You guys got to learn a little bit about Karen Burton and her journey in finding CrossFit and Prototype, which was probably the most unique out of any other person, because no one else has come to the gym just to meet me or to interview me to date their daughter. So thank you, Karen, for doing this on Mother's Day. I know this is probably the last thing that you wanted to do, but I appreciate it. And everyone else that's listening, I'm sure they really enjoyed it as well. Remember, you guys can watch the community conversation on our YouTube page or follow us on YouTube. You can also subscribe on Spotify. These community conversations come out on the first Monday of every week. If you ever want to be on the community conversation, just let us know. And we appreciate you guys all listening. Thank you again, Karen.
Thanks, Mike.